Welcome to Rural Concerns, a podcast where a couple of top lads decode the secrets of the natural world whilst their producer slowly blinks at multiple Pornhub tabs.
We see you. We see you in your glasses.
You can see the reflection in my glasses, yeah. Ah, well, I think that's kind of why I did it.
We know what you're up
Multiple
to.
hentai tabs up. All cartoon porn, Simpsons stuff. It's all Simpsons stuff.
Marge Simpson is an upstanding figure of the community. You should be ashamed of yourself. I made you do a video for social media this week, and yeah, people were just like commenting and going, "What? Sunil on the promo?" I was like, "Yep, Sunil on the promo."
I'm not going to share it. I'm not proud of it. That's staying on your account, that one.
Cool. Yeah, no, why would you share it?
Well, my Instagram, my last 6 Instagrams still, on the grid is basically Rural Concerns, isn't it? It's because I don't post anything else.
That's not Rural Concerns' fault.
No, that's my fault, yeah.
So you need to put up a picture of you having an ice cream to break it up.
All right, let me do it now.
Put up a picture of you having a Solero.
Is that what people want? What's yours look like? Let's have a look at yours. I'm wondering what your...
I'm not good at social media, but I am busy and anew on it. I'm not busy and anew in general, but I am busy and anew.
Picture of you dressed as a king with a staff.
Yeah, that's my Edinburgh.
A lot of videos. You do a lot of little videos, don't you?
I like little videos, but they're hard to do. I find them very exhausting.
Oh, they're a lot of fun. I enjoy them.
Thank you. I'm going to put one out tomorrow morning that it's just, do you know, when it's just, I rope my wife into becoming a videographer for me, and I'm not easy to direct. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't listen to her.
You don't take notes well.
I don't take notes well at all. She's like, "Do you want to try it this way?" I'm like, "Do you want to try it? Fuck off," and walk to the car.
I'd say your reaction to notes is either like just brick wall, like bounce back, no.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
Yeah.
Or completely crushed, and you do it in a completely crushed manner.
Is this notes you've given him, James?
Yeah, that's my
Right.
experience.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's like, should I bother, like, I'll give me a note, it'll be like, could we maybe not say this, or could we maybe say that? And I'll be like, I don't think I should get out of bed in the morning.
That's that then.
I think I'm done. I remember, like, when you're like, what's it like living with a comedian? My wife just exhaled, for 2 straight minutes. She's like, a laugh all the time. And you're like, yeah, in a way. A lot of it's me going, I can't do reels. I don't know what they are. Please leave me be. Let me die. Just let me die. Like at the minute, we're building up. We're in the build up to the Edinburgh Fringe. I'm going to the Edinburgh Fringe. Please buy tickets to make my wife's life better. Because now we're in the run up. I'm not necessarily my best self. What I'm doing at the minute is saying like, right, well, I'm just going to do Edinburgh, and then after that, I'm going to be a postman. That's what I'm going to be. I'm retiring. I'm just going to be a full-time postman.
Are you sure you can just be a postman, though?
What do you mean I can't be a postman?
Well, you can't just be like, let me be a postman. No, I was just asking, like, have you looked into it properly? Because, like, they don't just hire anyone, do they?
There is a little test that you have to do.
Yeah. Can you read? Can you walk for a mile? I think I'm struggling.
Where you live, you'd have to be given a little van. What's your no claims like?
I don't have my own insurance. It's my wife's insurance, and I'm a named driver.
How many years have you had your license?
I'm very recently under my own insurance because, when you get to your 40th year, you're like, you need your own. I think I'm on 1 year, no claims. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah. How long have you had your license, though? That's important.
I can't remember exactly, but I got it when I was in Manchester, so probably about 5-6 years ago. So I was in my 30s.
Oh, I think you're creeping. Yeah, 5 years.
I was in my 30s.
If there's any postman listening, let us know if you'd hire Chris.
It's mad. I'm too old to be a police officer.
No, you're not.
I don't want to do it.
What about murder? You do murders.
I don't want to do. I think
if you've got a degree, you can go straight into murders. You can try and join as a detective. You don't have to be a constable.
Oh, right. Sorry, I misunderstood you. I thought you meant doing murders. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be part.
It's hard to monetize.
I think I always wanted to be a detective when I was a little kid, at Sherlock Holmes. Either of you, yeah, have either of you used a private detective?
No.
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 I had a friend when I lived in London. I still am friends with. She lived in Camden, and she just like lived there scrubbing about. But at home, she was like the heiress to like a giant manor in Shropshire. And I went once and sort of got an eye of what her actual childhood was like. And she told me, said it's mad just because her family, whenever a family fall out all the time, and they're always they always have private detectives investigating everything. Do you know what I mean? It's like how their family had a row would be involve. They would set them on each other to find out who's doing what and stuff like this.
Oh, right. Can I just hire one then? All right, hire private. You need one though, Chris.
Oh, we do.
All the investigations you do.
I was saying that. I just said it out loud then for the first time in 35 years or whatever, that I wanted to be a detective when I was a small child. And just saying it out loud, I realised I am. That's what I do almost full time now, is investigate mysteries in the local area.
The local detectives, 10 years in business.
Is there any update on that, by the way, while we're here?
Well, no, we've hit a wall, which is, no offence to the constabulary, but the police being absolutely useless. You know, as in it's like a catch-22. If they can't arrest him unless they have evidence, they can't arrest him or pull him over, even though they got his license plate, unless they catch him drunk, but they won't come out unless they have evidence. You know, like some mad Kafkaesque bureaucracy, which is basically the people in the other people in the guild, they're like, we need to follow this up with the police. And I'm the only one that's like, the police are not going to fix this. It's important to flag it with them because they've given us full legal green lights to do a citizen's arrest.
They haven't.
But it's important that we've got a track record that we did try and do the right thing. But like, do you know when like you look at the police can't solve burglaries and murders? Do you know what I mean? I don't think they're going to be bothered about 4 gin cans. So we've got to fix it ourselves. So we can't do anything. We've got the license plate. My thought process is basically the thing that's within my remit is what I could do is make a sign. What I could do is make a sign that basically just flags it in a very light way that's got most of the license plate, but a lot of it obscured, just enough for them to know that we know that it's their car, and just point out that volunteers are helping keep the streets clean. Does that sounds mostly fine, doesn't it?
It's like Neighbourhood Watch. It's fine.
It's like Neighbourhood Watch. Just say, we know what your full license plate is, and we are quite close to taking this upon ourselves. There was actually a suggestion in the group because we basically narrowed down where they work.
Oh God!
And it all comes down to a receipt for a supermarket, and we think that receipt is where they work for a couple of reasons. So with this receipt, basically that explains the mad shift pattern. Like, there's no order to this. Like, it doesn't happen at 7 o'clock after work. It happens all the time, which would explain working in a supermarket. So we think we know where to work. And one suggestion in the group this week was to spend £17.99 on a GPS tracker, and to put it in. This isn't coming from me either. To put it to get where they work, put it in under the car, attach it to their exhaust or whatever you do with it, and we'll know where they live then, and that's all we need. Like, we'll know where they live.
Well, James has just sent another suggestion in the WhatsApp group if you want to have a look at that.
Is he a message saying, please stop talking about this?
No, he sent us a product.
Okay, I'm opening it up now. Stinger spike system. This is what I used to stop OJ, isn't it?
You need someone looking out, and then you just throw it out in the road. That's the noise it makes. That'll pop their tyres, and then you've got to do the citizen's arrest on them as well.
It's a bit, I mean, I've seen snippets of a CCTV. He's a big lad.
Yeah, I just don't think any of you guys are prepared for the amount of adrenaline coursing through you if you do deploy a stinger system.
No, I'll tell you this, now that you've said that, I do believe, do you feel this? Like, basically, having done stand-up, performed in front of people, public speaking to audiences, sometimes in the tens,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that we as a group have a higher threshold for what spikes our adrenaline. When I remember being on a train platform in Newcastle with another comedian, and the last train was cancelled. and basically everyone was freaking out and overreacting and being very aggressive with all the staff and stuff like that. And I just remember thinking that me and the other comedian had like a very steady hand. Do you know what I mean? And I do think.
Yeah. And that's more the experience of using late night public transport that you get as a comedian, isn't it? I think like if you two were then involved in a fight, you'd still, that adrenaline training over the years wouldn't help at all.
Yeah, it's different types of adrenaline in different situations. Yeah, like you're in a totally new situation, so the adrenaline's not familiar.
Chris, I simply must tell you about what I did on Sunday.
Is this a cultural highlight?
It's a cultural highlight. I did a VR experience killing the likes of goblins, a goblin king, dragon, skeletons.
What did they do to you?
Well, they were trying to attack me, but it was very intense. I remember speaking to Phil Ellis, comedian Phil Ellis, before. 20 minutes before it, I thought I'll give Phil a call, see what he thinks about this. And he said, if you do it, don't choose the zombie experience. I almost had a heart attack. So we chose the D&D experience. And I'll tell you what, I almost had a heart attack in that. It's incredibly intense. It's like a 30-minute workout where you're just slashing away at like goblins and that.
Where are you? What sort of, what are you in? Are you in a warehouse running around?
Are you at a seaside? Is it a sea?
No. It's in Holborn, in central London, called Sandbox VR. You basically walk in. There's a robot bar making drinks with robot arms. So they got no staff behind the bar, just robot arms making drinks. And then you go downstairs. You hear loads of people screaming around, like in all these little rooms. There's people just screaming their heads off. So it's kind of like horrifying already when you're in there. Then you get in. They put VR tags on your wrists and ankles. And then they put a jacket on, a VR jacket. Then they stick the VR headset on, but you do have to bring your own flashlight for it.
Yeah, they will empty it for you afterwards. They will run it through the VR industrial dishwasher.
If you don't remember to that, do you have to have one out there like lost property box?
you have to go to a vending machine and get a pocket pussy out of it.
What? So you're absolutely tearing through these goblins, filling that flashlight up.
Yeah. And if you don't have enough money to pay for it, you've got to bring your own pint glass full of mincemeat.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a top-up charge.
So yeah, it's really good. I was really dubious about it, but it was incredibly immersive to the point where like you're on a raft and it's falling off a waterfall. Your body genuinely feels like it's falling, so you start like tottering backwards. The downside is that they film everyone while they play it. So I saw the videos and I've not seen anything more pathetic in my life.
We went to Whitby to the seaside for a holiday with my mum and dad last year, and all the like arcades, which should be, 2p machines and whack-a-mole and stuff, now have like a £3 a pop VR experience. And it's basically probably like a very, very entry-level cheap version of what you've been on, where the games are like clearly designed by some 4chan 13-year-olds, so the graphics are terrible and the experience is bad. And then I just recorded my dad for 3 minutes reacting to a dragon that wasn't there and stuff like that. And yeah, I respect that man so much, but not in that moment.
Yeah.
Not in that moment.
But you know what? I mean, that could be our future. We could just be living inside a metaverse,
Wait a minute. Are we living in a metaverse now?
Nah.
I'll tell you what, this reminds me. When I was years ago, I think when I lived in London, so we're talking like 14, 15 years ago, I remember going past like a train station. I don't think you see them as much now, but do you remember when you used to have like army recruitment stalls in like supermarkets and train stations and stuff? And I was giving them a swerve, or just in Blackpool, you're like rounding up lads who've hit it a bit too hard. You're like, if you really want to murder someone, come on, get in this van.
Well, they wait for the release of the new Call of Duty franchise and then wait outside Game.
Yeah, and you're like, that felt good, didn't it? Imagine what that'd really feel like. But it was, what I was saying, like this, when I walked past this army recruitment thing, like 15, 14 years ago, I remember seeing two big, massive army blokes like pacing around, must have been like a 13-year-old boy wearing a VR, like an early VR headset. And you're like, don't do it, lad. Please don't do it.
Yeah.
Stay at home and play. Don't join the army.
I think your life would have been a lot different had you joined the army straight instead of going into Argos. Imagine you after 2 years in the army.
Would I completely break, or would I come out of it like hard, like
No, you come out of it hard, but drinking a lot as well.
yeah, like absolutely tearing apart like a military barracks town to pieces on a weekend?
Yeah. Anything to drown out the screams in your head.
I'm just a cook. I'm just chopping carrots. Do you know what I mean? But I can't handle that, like the hours.
Cooking a boat. Have we talked about aliens on this podcast before?
No, not properly. I'm as well. I live in dark skies. Not technically. Like I'm quite close to an A road, just close enough where I don't technically live in dark skies. But for all intents and purposes, I do live in dark skies because I look up and I can see the stars. Or to be more precise, I can see millions and millions of bats in front of the stars, which is quite unnerving. I do like bats. They move like nothing you've ever seen before. Like there must be order to it, but they move so erratically. Like ducking, weaving, going back for. I think they're hunting in the night. That's why they're out. They're hunting for bugs that I can't see.
Their wings aren't like, bird wings, are they? They really look. It looks difficult for them when they are flying. It's like you doing the front crawl. It's like it's tough.
Their wings look like testicle skin. I think.
Yeah,
Don't they?
that's
Like
it.
ball. Like they're made out of ball skin, like a creature made out of ball skin.
Like veiny old ball skin. Yeah.
Veiny, but like God did the balls, and he was
And he
like,
said, "Bit left over."
I can't get better than this. And then he just, he was like, I've got all this left over now. What should I do? Made the bat. Actually, this reminds me of, like, I remember my dad. I remember, like getting a glimpse of the horrors of aging. I remember being in like Debenhams with my dad, and we were in like waiting for me mum to get changed to summer, and we were looking at boxer shorts, and my dad was looking at some briefs. Yeah. Or like the tight, I don't know what, like the tight ones, like boxers.
Yeah.
And I said, well, won't you look at these? Like a looser fit cotton boxer short thing. And he was like, nah, not when you get to my age. At my age, you want to just, want someone to keep everything all in one place.
Really? Because I'm probably about your dad's age than I am now. Yeah.
Now? Yeah, you two get on, don't you?
And I've recently moved from, boxer briefs to fully breathable loose boxers.
How much? Yeah, but yeah. I mean, I think it's just your balls going like dripping down your leg like sort of Magnum, like a Magnum on a hot day.
No, they're all right. I think it does keep it together enough. I just thought I thought at this age maybe just let them breathe for a bit because they've had 10 years of like being tucked away, and I thought, you know what, give them a bit of airtime.
Get them out. And
it's summer.
Yeah.
Yes, James, do you want to say something?
James, do you want us cut in on this? Well, James, you did not tell anybody listening about how big and weird and old your balls are. This is the forum. This is our charity campaign for 2024. The Rural Concerns Big Old Weird Balls campaign.
We were talking about balls before you came online, actually. Yeah, I sent him a picture of a hamster with massive balls.
Yeah, you did.
There's a little video, actually a video, and it slowed down as the balls were just swinging about. But they were about the size of his legs, like that kind of radius. I
had a friend who had bought testicles like that, and they didn't fit in jeans.
Ooh.
Testicles the size of legs.
I mean, sorry, that if the leg is that big, testicles about that big next to it. It doesn't help audio wise, but look, this fucking hamster had massive balls, and that's all I'm saying. Yeah, my friend's got big bollocks as well.
And if there was ever,
I think everyone's got one friend with absolutely giant balls.
Yeah.
Is it the same friend?
Is it the same guy? Is it Dr. Tommy Porker?
Yeah, he's just bouncing around the country on him like a space hopper. And making everyone else feel a little bit better about their bodies.
What I did want to interject was maybe we should move on to some of the stuff that's actually on the document.
So this week we have had at my son's school his summer fair.
Here's just a little peek behind the curtain. At this point, I can hear my child crying from the other room, unable to go to sleep. So I think this is a safe point for me to go and just get them off to sleep. I'll let these guys talk. They're just talking about a summer fete. What could possibly go wrong? Well, have a listen. Chris basically tries to dox a child as some sort of petty revenge. This is just an idea of what I have to deal with.
Organised in part by my wife, Nicola, who was on the PTA, the Parent Teacher Association. So we had, it was like my son was just out of his mind excited to get to the summer fair, hanging out on a Saturday. It's a barbecue, there was a bouncy castle. But the reason I bring it up, it's all pretty standard. Good fun, raising money for the community. Nice to see, like the teachers are there, they're overseeing it. I can see they don't want to be there, but they're putting in the hours. It's their weekend, they don't want to be here. But we had a good time, the parents had a good time. But the reason I mention it is that there was a tug of war, which was attended by my nemesis.
B, obviously.
Who's that?
B.
He's a 17-year-old boy. I think he's coming up on 18.
Chris, come on.
Yeah, but basically we have a long-running feud for the past couple of years because basically when I first moved to the village, on sports day, they have when I did it, it was the father's race. But, since then they've wised up and it's the parents' race. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, fair enough. Be a bit more socially conscious, but I'm going to absolutely demolish these mums. Do you know what I mean? But I won when I was here, the first parents' race.
Sorry, you say that again? You won it?
I'm the 2021 winner of my son's primary school parents' day race.
So what, we're talking about flat out sprint for 100 metres or what?
I'd say we're not even looking at 100 metres. I think we're looking at about
30
metres, like a small sports field.
And you and just the mums?
No, I'll tell you what it was. The first year, there's basically, I'm like a cutoff in the age of the dads. Do you know? There's a lot of dads that are younger, but they like work and they're sort of, they're sort of like nice lads, but I sort of think they're a bit like the glonks. Do you know what I mean? They just say, hello, how you doing? Like that. And they don't really, they're too cool.
And you're happy to say that on this podcast that's listened to in your
come for me.
Yeah.
They don't listen. They don't even say hello to me, so I don't think they'll be listening to my podcast. But they're too cool to get involved and running the race, so they stand by the gates vaping, talking about football. So the ones in the race are me and what I call the geriatric dads. That are all, like the dad who's 50-year-old dad of it. And I'm like, do you know what I mean?
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
He's a good lad. He's just had his hip done like last year. But when we were running in this race, it was like just basically the slightly older dads. And I came first. And it gave me some minor celebrity in the village. Everyone knew my name. It was great. But then after this, riding high on my success, and I started running properly after that, riding high on my success. The year after, there was a new participant, the villain.
17-year-old dad?
He ain't a dad.
What?
He doesn't have a child.
Why is he in the
race? Exactly. This is what I said to the teachers.
Yeah.
This is what I said to the other parents. I was like, he can't race in the parents. He hasn't got a child.
Yeah.
Teacher said it's just a bit of fun.
Yeah, no, that's not on.
It's not on. And he just inched it. And then the year after I've started running. That's why. Because I wanted to beat the villain.
So what happened this year? Did you beat him?
Well, I haven't had it this year, but basically I've lost out to him twice, and I can feel myself giving up as well, because I just think
time's on his side. He's only going to get faster for about 10 years.
Yeah, he's getting faster and faster, and I'm like by inches just getting slower and slower every race. But this year we had a tug of war, and his team won 2 out of 3, and we won 1. So the feud is back up again. Yeah, do you know? Sorry,
he's in the tug of war as well.
This kid's just, I don't know.
What's he doing? Why is he hanging around at a school?
I don't know, because he's like he's right. Yeah, he's not. He's a good lad. His brother's at the school, so he's there with his family on the spot, on the communal family sports day. He's not just lurking around the school.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
But
All right.
he's like he's quite aggressive to me, and we got a few. And I used my position on the Village magazine to write. I wrote like a stinging hit piece. I'm going to put it in the Patreon, but I wrote a stinging hit piece
About the parents' race.
about the parents' race. I was like, he's won, but at what cost to sportsmanship? Do you know what I mean? Like it was
right.
really.
Are you serious? You actually did that?
Yeah, I did that. This is like a couple of years ago now, and it's been rumbling on since. And it got to the point where I was like, I think someone in the village shouted at him and called him a cheater, and I thought this has gone too far.
Chris, you've never mentioned this before. This is absurd.
I don't think I come across very well in it. I don't think it's a
No,
good
you
story.
don't. I mean, you can't be using your power like that. That's what it does.
Yeah, it sways the election, sways public opinion.
Sways public opinion, finds a scapegoat, and, ruins their life.
Oh, you're saying that's bad? Right, yeah. Have you ever done like sports day type stuff?
Yeah, at school, yeah. I don't have any kids, so I guess by the sounds of it, I can just turn up.
Yeah, it's just a free for all.
I can just go around all summer. I wouldn't get anywhere near winning. Think of all the fit dads there are in London.
Yeah.
Half of them don't work in the week anyway, or they work from home.
They work from home, they can do what they want.
And all they've got to do is like gym and running.
That's what I'm trying to do to my body.
You getting jacked?
Yeah, I want to be able to put my fist through through a 17-year-old boy's skull. No, we'll have to take that out. James, you missed a lot there. That is a callback, but I'm not sure it's one we want to endorse.
When you listen back to this, James, you're going to be absolutely appalled.
You're going to absolutely appalled. I'm going to go out on a limb and say you are going to have to bleep more stuff than you've ever bleeped in your entire life.
So that was the school fate.
Yeah. The villain turns out to be a 17-year-old boy.
My nemesis. That's his full real name.
This one's his full real name.
But we've only said that, I would say 7 times. Well, this is what happens when you leave the recording for 5 minutes because your children are having a tough time going to bed.
Let's do a letter, yeah. Dear Sunil, Chris, and producer James, it's me, Pudding, the Rural Concerns Goat. I can't thank you and your kind Patreons enough for sponsoring me to go travelling around Europe. I'm a bit nervous. I've never been abroad before. Truth be told, I've never left the Yorkshire Dales. Because, you see, I am a goat. No doubt I'll miss my farmyard friends, Felicity the Mule, Jemima Owl, and that nasty bastard rat. Will I need to buy a travel adapter? What's the French for? You can have a bang on that. How can a goat even hold an Interrail ticket? There are so many questions. I hope the people of Europe are kind. Thanks for reading. I hope Sunil is doing his fair share of social media promotion. I'll write to you when I reach my first destination, Paris. All the best, Pudding.
Oh.
Okay, so that's our goat.
There you go. And that's a goat that we agreed to sponsor.
Thank you for your letter, Pudding. You will need to buy a travel adapter. Don't know the French for can have a bang on that. You won't need an Interrail ticket if you get the QR code for it sprayed on you.
I think most people would be taken aback by a goat that they'd just let it on.
Is it? Yeah, I guess so. A smoking goat with a travel adapter. Is that what you mean by you can have a bang on that, Pudding?
Well, we'll have to see what Pudding says. We'll have to see what Pudding writes to us from the first destination on Pudding's European tour, Paris. And just a reminder that if you want to send in a rural concern, then send it to Christopher at lovelytime.co.uk and we'll read it. And you don't have to be a goat. You can be a person. The only thing you can't be is a cop.
Have we had any nice reviews, Chris? Or any reviews?
Yes, we have. We've got some other reviews. So I just want to read.
People should review it, shouldn't they? They should give us 5 stars and review it on the internet.
I don't think they should. Don't review us. But if they want to do it, if they want to go out of their way, and I just want to say it's really hard to do and it takes loads of time. So don't do it. But if you want to do it because it'll make us happy, yeah, you can leave us a 5-star review on Apple or what's it called, Sunil?
Spotify.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
If you send us a review, we'll read it. As long as it's 5 stars. 5 stars or more. Any less of 5 stars, you can shove it up your ass. But This
4's fine as well. Okay, yeah.
no, don't be giving him the window of 4.
We won't read it out if you give us a 4, yeah.
No, we won't acknowledge you exist if it's a 4. Give us a 5. You can come down to his house. You can have a bath with Sunil. Okay, so this is... I'll just read one of them that we've had. Title, surely the premise of a Hallmark movie, in which tweedy straw-chewing yokel Chris gradually seduces starched MacBook-wielding Sunil to become a partner in ye old, homespun illegal dog-breeding business. What obstacles could stand in their way? Will desperation for fibre broadband cause Chris to flirt with the corporate greed of the not-quite all-night garage? Will dark skies bewilder and fear the oh-so-rational Sunil? Can the twinkly matchmaker producer, James, steer these wayward friends into finally making something beautiful together? Follow and find out. A really daft podcast.
Whoever that is should be writing our choose your own adventures for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we spent a lot of money on the goat, but we need to, but you've got to spend money to make money. You got the goat, you got the choose your own adventure full-time employee. This is...
How much is the goat costing us?
It's £50 a month. And for that, it gets...
Round Europe.
Europe, pens and paper.
Vapes.
Yeah, if Pudding ever wants vapes. Basically, it's like, do you know like in Blade 2 where there's secret clubs for the vampires and stuff with a UV signifier?
Yeah,
Pudding's got a map to the secret vape shops of Europe, like a UV marker that he can see with his, like goat eyes that are on the side rather than round.
Yeah, he can still see straight forward. It's not,
But you can see...
Well, he's not like you get...
But maybe he can see in a different...
TV screen than his head.
You can see in a different gamut of colour. Do you know what I mean? So you can see vapes.
Sunil, have you ever looked at a goat's eyes? Have you ever really looked in a goat's eyes?
Not deep into them. Why? What are they like?
They've got square irises.
You what?
They've got square irises.
Why?
I don't know, but it looks weird.
Like, so they do see stuff like a telly?
I don't know actually if they see stuff like a telly, but it's widescreen.
Imagine seeing stuff like a telly. 16:9.
Yeah, 4:3. Do you know what I mean?
4:3, sorry. Yeah, 4:3. Yeah.
Old school episodes of The Bill. Thank you for listening to Rural Concerns. We hope that you have learned lots and lots and lots. You did a nice bit.
Our artwork is by Poppy Hilstead and our music is by Sam O'Leary.
Rural Concerns is edited by Joseph Burrows and produced by Egg Mountain for A Lovely Time Productions. Thank you.
Thank you. Support us on Patreon. You'll get a bonus episode every 2 weeks, plus access to The Creamery, our super cool Discord hangout, which I still don't know how to gain access to.
Yes, and thank you, because this podcast can only continue with your support. So just by listening, you're already doing us a solid. But for the price of half a far too hoppy London pint of ale, brewed by Robert Plant's useless...
The fuck are you on about? Where's this?
Who's right? What?
Then you will help cover our money costs. Some of it's not written down, James. Some of it's...
It is. It's all written down. Read it. Literally reading it.
You just feel it like jazz. Come on, James.
Show what Patreon plug 2 as well.
I'm going to try and be relaxed, but I don't want the listener to know that I'm not totally relaxed.
Yeah. Well, you are eating on the mic.
Just to get a full... this is a new emergency microphone setup, just so that they can hear.
I've got a bit of an emergency. I have 2 unread emails in my inbox, but I can't find them, and I've got 2,733 emails. And I can't close my email unless it's a multiple of 3 unread emails.
Do you want me to send you an email?
Just send me one email and then we can crack on with the record.
Okay.
Thank you.